Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Digital Den mini class. Today and throughout the month of May, we are going to be learning how to cartoonize yourself, be able to take a picture of yourself and then make yourself look wacky and crazy, doing all kinds of fun, different filters on Photoshop. Today, we're going to be exploring the Liquify filter that is on there to really make yourself look wacky right off the bat. So let's go ahead and get into it and open up Photoshop. All right, so here we are in Photoshop, and all we have to do here is click on open and find that picture that we want to work with here. So I've got a couple of options here that I've already been messing around with. I'm going to go ahead and open up this one here. It's just a normal picture of me, and you'll notice I have my glasses on in this picture, and I wanted to use this one because if you, like me, also wear glasses, we are going to be modifying our face, but Photoshop is smart enough to be able to recognize that we're wearing glasses and not modify those, and instead just modify our face around them. So it actually works whether you wear glasses or not. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to rotate our image here to be able to make it sure that we are right side up there. So that looks a lot nicer than it being sideways and having to tilt our head to be able to make sure that we got the right view there, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to click on image and we're going to go to image size. Now, what we want to do is we want to change the resolution so it's larger and the size of the picture so that it's smaller to reflect the new change in resolution so that we're not getting any pixelation. But the high resolution is going to allow for us to be able to see a lot more detail in this picture. So we're going to click on the little chain here and we're going to change the size here. We're going to drop the size down to about 2000. Okay, then we are for the height there. Okay, if you have a vertical picture, then 2000 is going to be your height. If it's horizontal, then you're going to want 2000 to be your width. Okay, we're going to up our resolution to 300. Oh my goodness, bring that back down to 2000. There we go. So you're going to have to change the resolution first and then change the height. Make sure that you've got this link icon here clicked so that it makes the ratio of both the width and the height the same, and we're good to go. So we're going to click OK, and we've noticed that our picture's gotten a little bit smaller, but we can just zoom back in and we're good to go. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are going to double click on our background layer here at the very bottom, and we are going to click on OK on that, and double clicking on it is going to allow for us to remove the lock there. It's going to allow for us to be able to change the image that we are the layer that we're working with here. So we're going to right click on this, and then we're going to click on the button that says convert to smart object. What is a smart object? Well, a smart object has a couple of things that is great for it. It separates all of the different effects that we do into multiple different layered options there. Which makes it a little bit more visually appealing when we're working on stuff, but instead of just impacting the layer as a whole, so we can turn on and off different effects if we want. But the most notable thing is that it also recognizes the different features in your picture, most notably your face. It has a facial recognition function, and that's what we're going to be using today in the Liquify feature. So we're going to click on the text of our layer here. Double click on that. We're going to change the name of it. So it's going to say before. We want to make sure that we keep a layer that is before we make any edits to it, right? So we're going to right click on this and click on duplicate layer. And we're going to change the name of that layer to effects, and we're going to hit OK. So for the rest of this video, we're only going to be using the effects layer, but in a later video, as we continue to edit this picture, we will be using the before layer once again. So make sure to separate these. So what we're going to do is make sure that we have our effects layer highlighted and then come up here to filter and click on Liquify. Now, if you have your smart object, your picture is a smart object there, then you're going to see some this pop up here, and you're going to see face aware Liquify on there, and that's what we want. We're going to click on this link here on each of these different eye icons. That way, whenever we adjust the size of anything here, it will reflect both eyes instead of just the one. So we're going to click on our eye size, and we're going to drag that to where we want it. Maybe we want like really big eyes, right? And you'll see that both my left eye and my right eye are both changing. If I unlinked this and I changed my left eye, then you would see that only my right eye, well, I guess this is my left eye if we're looking at me. You get the picture. One eye is really big, one eye is really small. We ultimately want for everything to be the same though, just so uniformity is a good thing. So don't feel like you need to copy my numbers here on this in particular step. Have fun with it, adjust your eye height to whatever you want. So I'm gonna crank this all the way up so you can see like the different sizing there. Look at the picture. I'm going to have that at max. I'm going to throw my eye width at max so that we can just keep on making my eyes goofy large here. And then my eye distance, I can adjust those. I can have them really close together, or I can have them really far apart. Far apart looks pretty good. And we're going to adjust our nose height so we can have a higher or lower nose there. We'll go for a low nose. And don't feel like you need to crank it all the way to max like I have been doing here, but I just really want to exaggerate the different things that we're going to be adjusting here. And lastly, nose width, let's crank that all the way to max. So we've got a much bigger nose than we normally do. Now the mouth functions are really silly, like smile there, right? So I've got like a little bit of a smile going on. I have my mouth open, and the reason why I have like a goofy pose going on is because cartoons are really animated. And so by having an animated pose in our picture, it's going to make this cartoon look a lot more like super silly, right? So take a look at my smile as I adjust this smile function here, and you'll see my lips start to curl up or down depending on where I place my smile, which is really silly to look at. We're going to make that at max. We can adjust our lip here, our upper lip here, and this is going to be the size of our lip. So if I want a really small upper lip or I want a really big upper lip, then we can do that. Let's go for really big upper and lower lips. So we're going to have to make our lower lip lower there. So the reason why the upper lip needs to be at a higher level and the lower lip needs to be at a lower level is because it's stretching the upper lip up and the lower lip down. So it kind of, that's the case there. Mouth width, let's go ahead and make that bigger, and mouth height, we'll make that bigger too. We're starting to look really goofy here, but there's a couple more functions that we can change here. And now we can just look at the face shape as a whole. I can adjust it so that my forehead is really small, or I can adjust it so that my forehead is really big. And now look at my hairline there. So I've got a large forehead, but that cuts into my hairline because the height overall of my hair doesn't really adjust that much. It's just showing the change in how much hair I have. Cartoons tend to have a lot of hair going on. So let's adjust my forehead so that it's a small forehead, a lot of hair going in. We've got the chin height. We can adjust that. That looks really strange. So we're going to make the chin height really big. Let's see, the jawline. We can go really big or we can go really small. I think really small is fun. And then let's see, face width. Small face width looks great. That looks really, really silly. Okay. And then we'll just hit OK on this. And now we've got our very like cartoonish pose here, but I still look somewhat humanish because, ultimately we don't look hand drawn in any way. Right. So that is my pose. And if I click on this eyeball down here on the layer function and turn off the visibility there, this is what I normally look like. Which, since we've been staring at this strange version of me for so long, I almost look weird in this normal picture. But anyway, so that is the Liquify filter. So I would encourage you to upload some pictures in there, change those to a smart object, and then just have some fun with it. And make sure that your picture is as goofy as you want it. And that is going to do it for this first section of how to cartoonize yourself on Photoshop. Coming up next episode, we are going to be talking about the filter gallery here. So we're going to be going in and changing it to poster edges to give us a little bit more of a hand-drawn sort of feel to that. And we're going to smooth out all those black dots, so you don't have to worry about that. But that's going to be coming up in the next episode. So make sure that you come back again next time, and we will see you in the next Digital Den mini class. Thanks for watching. Bye.